This I promise. You shall not stand alone against him.
You fight well. Worthy of the name Belmont.
Hey everyone, Xander here from Access Gaming Podcast, and I wanted to share one of my most anticipated titles this year. I've been really looking forward to this, guys, and that is Castlevania Mirrors of Fate. Now, if you guys have never played Lords of Shadow, I will not spoil anything for you. But I will say that this game is pretty much the events after the first game. It's kind of like the middle game between the sequel that's coming out next year and the very first one. It's kind of like the middle child. And it follows a lot of the Belmont clan. You know, a lot of questions that I had when I played the first game of how are they going to do this? How is this person going to fit in? They did a pretty good job putting all those together, and it felt like a nod to the series, but at the same time it felt very fresh. Now, I know what you guys are wondering. Apart from the story, a very important element in the Castlevania, of course, is the controls. And, you know, they were going back to the 2D. Castlevania, it's like 2D with 3D rendering. And I think they did a pretty good job. There's some little hiccups in there, like the fact that your Belmont, he can't take fall damage. So, I mean, if you're jumping from a high distance and you slip and you don't make the catch, chances are you're going to break your neck. Just saying. So be very prepared for that. Which, I mean, if you're used to old school Castlevanias, this isn't really anything new to you. Now, also, the combat is very fluent for the most part. It does have some lag when there's like a bunch of, like, say, like flying characters on the screen. It kind of lags a little bit. But for the most part, I think it's pretty good in it, and the battle system is very enjoyable. So anyway, is the game worth it? I have to say, if I was to give it a score, I'd give it a 3 out of 5. It's a very enjoyable action game. It definitely has some room for improvement with its controls, but I have to say it was a very enjoyable game and a great Castlevania. If you're expecting this game to play like Symphony of the Night, you're going to be disappointed, because this game has some very linear customization to it. You know, you can't change your cape or your weapons. I mean, it's kind of linear when it comes to that. Also, if you're expecting this to be a old school Castlevania, like, say, Super Castlevania 4, you're going to be kind of disappointed with that too, because it's a little bit like Symphony of the Night. To me, it's a middle child to the Castlevania gameplay, which, honestly, to me, it's not a bad thing. I enjoyed it. So, if you're a huge Castlevania fan, huge action fan, and you haven't really been giving your 3DS enough love, I highly advise you guys to pick it up. And it just makes me more stoked for Lord of Shadows 2. I'm really looking forward to that. But anyway, guys, thanks for the likes, thanks for subscribes, and as always, happy gaming.